Hey, what is up everybody? It's Animac here for Anime Uproar, and the shonen side of the internet just exploded as Black Clover unveiled what could be its most controversial chapter ever. People are already freaking out and calling Black Clover Disney Clover. They're saying Tabata went too far with this latest reveal, and they're saying this might be the end of Black Clover. So is this the end? Is the fandom going to destroy itself from the inside? Are we at least gonna get some good memes out of this? Let's break it all down, and then you can decide for yourself. You guys know the drill. If you enjoy our Black Clover videos and you want to see more in the future, leave a quick like and comment. Right now, it only takes you a second, but it helps me out with that YouTube algorithm. And if you don't know, over half of all the people who watch our videos are not actually subscribed. If you are one of those people, please subscribe right now and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Subscribing on YouTube is completely free, but it's a very real way of directly supporting the channel, and it means a lot. Finally, this video will contain Black Clover manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The final battle in Black Clover. The battle for the Clover Kingdom capital that is being waged between Lucius and his paladins on the one side and the strongest magic knights in the Clover Kingdom on the other side really intensified during the last chapter as Yuno took center stage. Yuno demonstrated Wizard King levels of power as he created a gigantic star magic portal over the entire capital, and he used it to save the whole city from a massive enemy attack. In that moment, Lucius identified Yuno as a serious threat to his master plan, and he vowed to destroy Yuno right here and now. The latest chapter declares that the fate of the Clover Kingdom rests in Yuno's hands as Yuno and Lucius prepare to do battle. Lucius acknowledges that Yuno is strong, but he's not strong enough to prevent Judgment Day. As the two of them are facing off, those angelic figures that are floating above the capital are attacked by the Clover Kingdom mages. Now, these guys are not paladins. They seem to be just like NPCs who look like a cross between angels and mummies. However, despite using multiple magic attributes and extremely powerful magic attacks, the mages of the Clover Kingdom just can't seem to damage these angel things. Morris implies that these creatures used to be humans who rebelled against Lucius, and they were eventually transformed into the guardian angels of the new world. They used to be renegades and rebels, and now they are the bringers of law and order. If this is true, then it is extremely creepy. These NPCs apparently used to be humans whom Lucius deemed to be inferior and unworthy of his new world. And so he turned them into essentially mindless zombies of destruction. But the main point regarding these angels is that even though they appear to be mindless NPCs that just carry out Lucius's will, they are still impossibly strong, and even multiple powerful Black Clover mages working together can't seem to make any headway against them. Overall, the situation seems pretty hopeless, and yet the Clover Kingdom Knights know that they have to fight to protect their people, even if that means certain death. As one of the angels launches a light beam attack like the one we saw in the previous chapter, Soul tries to stop it with one of her giant golems. She actually thinks that her attack will likely fail, and she fully expects to die within seconds. But, to her surprise, her golem actually manages to stop the angel's attack. It is as if her magic suddenly became way stronger than it had been before. And it is in this moment that we learn why the wind spirit Sylph is also known as Belle. Belle reveals a new, overpowered spell that she and Yuno have developed. A spell that is apparently the reflection of their love. Now, I don't know if this is just a one-sided love from Belle's perspective, or if Yuno is also in love with her too now after the time skip. But I will say that her character has really developed since the beginning of the story, if you know what I mean. So who knows, maybe Tabata really is setting up a romance between the two of them. Anyway, the spell is a combination of star and wind spirit magic called Mana Zone Neverland. This spell allows Yuno and Belle to manipulate the flow of magic power inside this specific space. A space that seems to encompass the entire Clover Kingdom capital. Within this space, the magic of Yuno and Belle's allies is strengthened, while the magic of their enemies is weakened. And so, all the Clover Kingdom mages are now going to be stronger, and all of Lucius's subordinates are now going to be weaker than they were before. I mean, we always knew that Sylph, aka Belle, was inspired by Tinkerbell from Peter Pan, but it seems that the Peter Pan references are going to extend far beyond just that. Neverland is of course an imaginary fantasy island where Peter Pan and Tinkerbell live in the Peter Pan story, along with other characters like Captain Hook, Tiger Lily, and the Lost Boys. One prominent feature of Neverland is the fact that its inhabitants never seem to age, as if time stands still. Although in some versions, Peter Pan is the only one who doesn't age because he refuses to grow up, but the other characters still do. Then yet another person declares that Yuno is now at the level of a Wizard King. This time it's Klaus Lunette of the Golden Dawn. In the very next moment, the Clover Kingdom mages advance on the angels and attack them with everything they've got. But as all of this is happening, Lucius suddenly appears behind Yuno and traps him within one of his time spheres. Lucius smiles, knowing that he will now be able to destroy Yuno by accelerating his aging, but for some reason, nothing happens to Yuno. It turns out that Yuno's Neverland spell is very similar to Peter Pan's Neverland, because inside of it, time doesn't move, and so Yuno will not age even if a time magic spell is used on him. Lucius realizes that this really is the type of magic that was born to oppose him, and he hates it. He proclaims Yuno to be his real rival, but Yuno doesn't return the favor. Yuno says that Lucius is not his real rival, because we all know that his true rival is our boy, Asta. And the chapter ends as Yuno uses his Spirit of Zephyr sword to cut through Lucius. Now we can't tell how much damage Yuno actually does to Lucius because the chapter ends at the point that Yuno's sword makes contact with the villain. But it's safe to assume that Lucius isn't going anywhere anytime soon. That said, how crazy is Neverland? And is it too broken? I mean, to be fair, Lucius is broken too, but such a drastic power-up for Yuno kinda smashes everything we thought we knew about the Black Clover power system. This 18-year-old guy is so powerful that he can make portals the size of the capital city. He can create a space that is also the size of the entire capital city, where all his allies become stronger and all his enemies become weaker, and where time magic has no effect on him. Like, that is absolutely insane, and it makes the power of the Wizard King Julius look pretty basic in comparison. And that brings me to the main controversy of this chapter. Many believe that Tabata and Black Clover went too far, and they turned Yuno into a Disney character. They turned him into an overpowered Peter Pan who seems to have everything going for him. He has noble blood, he has Licht's son inside of him, he has the wind spirit, he has both wind and star magic, and he is able to get so strong so fast, even though the Magic Knight captains can't even come close to comparing to him. So a lot of people are mad because they feel that Yuno is the opposite of an underdog. The man has every possible advantage. He won the magical lottery, and his broken powers cheapen the world and the power system of Black Clover. After all, what does the combination of wind and star magic have to do with stopping time? Does it even make sense? Now, I am not one to shy away from a fair critique, and Black Clover certainly can be critiqued. The fact that almost no one dies and people who are dead just resurrect does take away from the tension during a big battle, because at this point you just don't expect anyone important to actually die, at least not permanently. I can also understand that people are worried about power creep in Black Clover, and Yuno's new powers are a perfect example of that. But at the same time, Black Clover is in its final arc. This is probably the final battle. So if Tabata is ever going to go all out with the crazy powers and power-ups, now would be the time. And yeah, I do agree that Yuno is really broken right now. And yes, the man turned out to be extremely fortunate to inherit such rare magic and elf powers. Oh, and he just happens to be a Spade Kingdom royal, and so on. If Yuno really were to take down Lucius, I would completely agree that Tabata went too far. But I do want to see where things go because Lucius is also extremely overpowered. Like, the man literally has the powers of a creator god. So I don't think that Yuno will be able to defeat him despite his new power-ups. I still think that Yuno will need the help of Asta and everyone else in the Clover Kingdom in order to take Lucius down. And the final battle will likely include some really intense twists and turns and some incredible teamwork. Don't get me wrong, I don't think we're going to get any sort of crazy twist where Lucius actually wins in the end, or where some important character dies. But I do think that the final battle will be worth following, and I think that the ultimate result of the battle will feel earned. I could be wrong, and Tabata might really be going off the rails like some people are claiming. And like the power system may just become irrelevant as Yuno and Asta and Lucius get super strong and leave everyone else in the dust. But I am hopeful that important aspects of Black Clover battles like teamwork and suspense and strategy will play an essential role in the end. What do you guys think? You're here watching a Black Clover video, so you definitely follow the series and you certainly have an opinion on this. Did this chapter go too far? Did it break the power system of Black Clover, and did it turn Yuno into a Mary Sue, or I guess a Gary Stu? Does Tabata know what he's doing with the ending, or are we going to get Disney Clover? Power of friendship, talk no jutsu, fancy world-breaking power-ups that don't really make sense based on what we've seen so far, and so on. Definitely leave your feedback down in the comments below. There's been a lot of controversy over this chapter, and I really want to know what the community thinks. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Black Clover content in the future, leave a quick like and comment right now. And if you're one of the over 50% of people who watch our videos but still haven't taken the time to subscribe, do me a big favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.